The Marvel Cinematic Universe has been gradually drawing a who's who of Hollywood's greatest actors, and Charlize Theron was a recent addition to their roster, making a shock cameo in the post-credit scene of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Clea whisks Strange into the multiverse. Though we haven't heard from Clea and her new friend since then, this video will be all about Clea and what's next for her. First up, Theron has given us an idea of what's next for Clea, and the short version of that is waiting for a call from Kevin Feige. As a guest on Jimmy Kimmel, Theron talked about her cameo in one of 2022's biggest Marvel movies. While Clea made a splashy appearance, we haven't followed up with her since, even though Wong has been popping up here and there in the MCU. Unfortunately, it seems like Theron isn't the best person to ask for plans for her character. She explains to Kimmel that Marvel is very secretive about those things. A lot of the time, the planning of storylines is way above the pay grade of the actors who are playing the heroes. She's still hoping the cameo isn't the end of her stint playing Clea. It doesn't help that Theron, by her admission, isn't big on the comics, so even if she had some clue about her character's future plans, she wouldn't know anything about it. She's of the mindset that she'll show up on set when she's called and do her thing. The fact that she's this out of the loop suggests that Theron isn't in for the long haul. That might make sense, as many of the elite actors that appear in the MCU don't stick around very long. This wouldn't be the first short-term contract Marvel Studios has given an actor. In the past, actors could never really sign on to do one Marvel movie. The contracts would often be drawn up so that the actor would be committed to the character for several roles that could span decades. That sort of thing allows the MCU to cross characters into other movies, and those cameos are one of the things that we love about the MCU. But we've seen in Phase 4 that Marvel has changed their tune about some of these contracts. Many characters have appeared in the last 2 years of movies that will never be seen again. For example, Thor: Love and Thunder gave us both Christian Bale as Gore the God Butcher and Russell Crowe as Zeus. Both are major and beloved characters, and both were written out of the movie. Crowe could potentially come back, but we're not holding our breaths. These actors would rather be free to do other movies. These shorter contracts allow Marvel Studios to bag top-tier talent for their movies, even if they have to accept that they can't keep them for very long. Oscar Isaac, for example, was on a single-season contract for Moon Knight. He might not have agreed to be tied to Disney for several years, but he agreed to do one season, and the rumor is that he's down for another. Next up, here's why Clea is so important. Since Doctor Strange has only 2 movies where he was the lead, we haven't seen many of his side cast and villains. There's Wong and Christine, and we've met Mordo, the Ancient One, and Dormammu, but that's it. So for movie-only folks, it might be hard to understand why comic readers are so excited about the introduction of Clea. Breathe easy, folks, because we're here to catch you up. Clea has been associated with Doctor Strange in the comics since she was introduced in 1964. But here's the one thing about her. She's the niece of Dormammu. Now that raises some important questions. Does Dormammu have siblings? And do those siblings have children? Where are Dormammu's kids? None of that has to do with Clea, so we have to stay on topic. Now, Clea isn't exactly a human. No birds and bees with her, as she was created with magic. She first meets Doctor Strange in the Dark Dimension when he's dropping by to kick her uncle's butt. Dormammu may be Clea's uncle, but he's the sort to cause a stir at Thanksgiving, so she was more than happy to help Strange out on this adventure. Despite her association with the Dark Dimension, Clea is still a good person and can be counted on to do the right thing. Most of the time, anyway. Moving on, here's the real shocker. Clea is the Doctor's love interest. That's right. After an episode where she was captured by Umar and nearly killed, the Ancient One had to bail her out. From there, Strange rescued Clea and lived together for a bit. Their relationship had some ups and downs, as all fictional relationships do, but the two of them did get married. They had a nice ceremony in the traditions of the Dark Dimension, which is probably exactly how Strange liked it. Oh, by the way, when they got married, Clea was the ruler of the Dark Dimension, so Strange was technically Prince Consort of the Dark Dimension. Comics. Unfortunately, this marriage doesn't pan out any better than the one with Christine Palmer. It turns out that even half Altine and half Dark Dimensional beings can't put up with the quirks of Strange's personality, and this is 616 Strange we're talking about. As the years went by, their marriage eventually fell apart. It's interesting to note that the sentiments Strange has for Christine in the movies are the sentiments he has for Clea in the comics. The poor guy was broken up by their divorce, but even that was a long time ago in real-world years. At this point, their marriage is just a page in comic book history, and it doesn't come up very often in Strange's recent appearances. Coming up, let's talk about Clea's superpowers. For starters, starters, she's a sorcerer too. Specifically, she's the sorceress supreme of the Dark Dimension, but she's also a being of pure magic, so she has natural abilities. Flight is just the start, and she can do it without a magical cape. Her natural abilities also include superhuman strength and the ability to throw energy bolts. Her heritage from the Dark Dimension is a pathway to many abilities some consider unnatural. These include telekinesis and telepathy, meaning she can move and throw objects with her mind and communicate with people through their minds. Does she have mind control? You bet she does. We realize that the more we talk about Clea, the more she sounds like a Sith, but the thing that puts her above even Darth Vader is the ability to conjure things and give life to inanimate objects. Clea is insanely powerful. We've yet to meet a sorcerer that could take Clea on in a fight, except for the Ancient One and maybe Wanda at the height of her powers. It's no surprise that she strikes fear into the hearts of the things that live in the Dark Dimension, and it's no surprise that she strikes love into the heart of Doctor Strange. Finally, let's speculate on what her role in the MCU will be. If we're right about Charlize Theron's contract being short-term, we're probably not going to see Clea's marriage to Strange. That might not make sense since their marriage was a mainstay of the Strange comics, but that's the sort of things that has to develop over many movies. Frankly, it doesn't seem that Theron would be interested in committing to so many years to the MCU. We're not even sure how much longer Benedict Cumberbatch will be around. Another reason why we don't expect to see the two get married in the movies is because the marriage will eventually end in a divorce. Seeing Strange pine over a lost love a second time will be a little frustrating, especially since he pined over Christine for so long. We wouldn't want to see Strange going in circles like this. He's more than just a sorcerer, you know? What we can expect from the future of these characters is more universe-hopping adventures, as the two stop in incursions that Wanda triggered with her dreamwalking. And there's no doubt that Dormammu will make another appearance. Perhaps the story will end with Clea taking the throne of the Dark Dimension as she did in the comics. Interestingly, there are no Doctor Strange sequels in the Multiverse Saga's pipeline. It looks as though all these things will have to happen in the side plots of other movies. That's it for today's video. If you're interested in learning even more about Clea, the best thing to do is pick up some comics. Let us know in the comments below if you're excited to see more of Theron's take on the character and when you think Strange will return. But as always, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.